What's up, guys? Music M here. Hope y'all good. I am too. So, today I'll be talking about my visit to New York City in the USA. So, first of all, I just want to say that there is nothing surprising when you grow up listening to hip hop and watching so much American TV that you'll find or that you'll see when you get to the US. It feels like you've been there before. That's how it feels. I guess that's a better way of putting it is when you're in the US, when you're in New York City, it really feels like I've been here before even though I've never been there before, but there's that feeling of I've been here before because I listen to so much American music, hip hop, and watch all the TV, right? And they tell all their stories about the US. Rappers talk about the city all the time. So they've detailed a lot of things about the country that there is a lot of surprises waiting for you when you get there, right? So, but it still was a beautiful experience just to be there in the flesh because I've heard so much about it. When I got there, just to be there was just felt amazing. Just to be able to say, I'm finally here to see it for myself is still an amazing feeling that is 100% worth every penny and every dime that you'll spend going there. Now, of course, as a tourist going to the US or as a tourist going anywhere on vacation, you don't want to spend your money and time seeing things that will depress you or being in parts of town that are too real for your mind or for you. So you want to be in the areas where everything is all rainbows and sunshine, right? That's why you call it a vacation. You want to distress. You want to have a good time. So I cannot speak so much about the real issues and whatever they have in New York. I'll speak from a tourist perspective because I was there as a tourist and I spent some time in the Bronx. I went to Queens, I went to Brooklyn, I was in Manhattan, and I took a 2 hour boat ride around the boroughs of New York City. And I'll say I had a good time, I had an amazing time. So I took a boat ride this one day, 2.5 hour boat ride around the boroughs. I got to see Lady Luck, which is the Statue of Liberty. I got to see the bridges, the many New York bridges that they have. And after that boat ride, I took a Uber to the Daily Show. I didn't make it inside the Daily Show, so they cut the line like 3 people in front of me, and they said that they were filled up in capacity. So the rest of us, they asked if we can come back another day, but obviously I was only there for a few days, so that wasn't going to happen in my case. And then from the Daily Show, I actually walked to Times Square, which is an amazing place. So when I got there, I just took pictures in Times Square. There's a lot of street performers and a lot of tourists just walking around. I remember walking around looking for the restroom or a toilet because I needed to pee so bad, and that was an issue finding a toilet. I ended up walking in a hotel that had a bar in it, and I went to the bar, but I didn't go to the bar. I just went to the restroom of that bar inside the hotel. So that's a tip, maybe, if you ever find yourself in Times Square really pressed to pee. Just find a hotel that has a bar. The craziest thing I did in New York was take the subway train. So I went to a Club Nebula, very freaking expensive. Just like everything in the US, specifically New York City is very expensive. So I went to Nebula. After Nebula at around, I would say probably it was around 2, 3 a.m. I decided instead of an Uber, let me take the subway station. Boy, did I regret it, but it was an experience still worth it. So I got on the subway station at 3 a.m. That takes a lot of guts and courage if you've heard the stories about the subway, right? Great experience, man. I will say that I had a few encounters with the police officers. And when I say encounters, I'm not talking anything bad. When you're in a country, typically when you're in a foreign country, You don't want to seem like a tourist because people are always ready to take advantage of tourists, right? So if you need directions, if you need assistance, and you see a police officer, that is the safest person to approach. So that was the interactions I had with police officers. It was initiated by myself, and it was contradiction to everything that we've seen about police officers. Now, not to say that there isn't actual cause or there isn't police brutality. There definitely is. There definitely probably is a lot of that in the US. But I'm just saying, fortunately for me and my experience in New York with the law, or rather the men of the law, police officers, was wonderful. They were more than friendly, very helpful, very friendly, surprisingly friendly people. So yeah, that was my experience of New York. Beautiful city. Cheers.